Okay, well, welcome, bookies. This is Pam, voiceover Pam, in the group Author and Audiobooks, taking your written work to audio. And today is a little different because I'm doing it via Zoom because it's a topic that I don't know a whole lot about, even though, it was a great suggestion from Deanie, who's here with me today, joining us. And if you see this link in the group, the Zoom link, you can certainly hop on and we'll be on for maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. But Deanie is also a narrator. So, Deanie, since you're here with me today, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so as I told you before, I was born in Holland, then grew up in South Africa. My home language is actually Afrikaans, so I'm fully bilingual in Afrikaans and English and German and Dutch and so on. And I've been doing audiobooks now for probably 7 years. I started
Wow.
off doing voluntary work for LibriVox and so on,
Hmm.
and learned a
Hmm.
lot there. And just have been going along. So by now I have over 50 or 60 titles on
Fantastic.
on Audible, but I still consider myself a learner. I'm learning all the time. It's just amazing how much we
Absolutely.
learn, and we love these resources, these Facebook groups, and so on.
I
Yeah.
do too. And do you narrate as your name, as your given name?
Yes, I
Okay.
my website is Dini's Voice, but I do use my given name as a narrator,
Okay.
except when sometimes a book is a little iffy, then I may use a pseudonym.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
haven't gotten there yet. I went to initials just for a little bit of privacy. That was it, just starting out. I haven't done anything too risque, but if I do,
Yeah.
I may have to go to a pseudonym. Um, but actually, it was your idea. You posted in our group about a couple of topics that were of interest to you and that might be of interest to authors.
Yeah.
And one was the book covers.
Yeah.
And I thought
Yeah.
that was a really interesting topic because I've been in it now just a year. It'll be a year in April when I um, accepted my first little audiobook. And so now I'm on number 11. And I've only worked on ACX. So this year my goal is to move to a couple of publishers. That's really what I'm hoping for. But and I don't know, I can probably screen share. Let me try to see if I can get in. Bear with me here for just a second. Let me see if I already have it up because we can maybe look at some of the covers. Um, okay, here
Yeah,
we
while you're doing that,
go. Hmm.
I'll tell you why I came up with this. I had a couple of occasions where I applied for a book, and I didn't really, because you don't always see the final book cover when you put in your audition.
Correct.
And these books were well written, little romance. But
Hmm.
when I saw them, their final book covers, it was so disappointing. It looked so childish and unprofessional. And
Hmm.
in fact, those books sold very poorly. Their
Yeah.
sales, they were royalty shares. So I was hoping for good sales, but they were. So that made me think, if a narrator feels like that about a book cover, what about the ones who read the books? Surely they must just skip past the ones that don't look attractive enough and say,
Right.
okay, I'm going to look for something that has a better professional looking cover design.
Well, I think it's such a great point because I think I'm more in tune to it now, having learned, from the last year. And my first little book that I did was an Amish romance, and I didn't realize it at the time. It was from a little publishing company, and they still do put their work out on ACX. And it actually did have a nice little cover to it, but I kept bypassing it. And I don't remember why. I think it was maybe just the title, or I wasn't sure if I could pull off the Amish or whatever it was. But then the next book had a so-so cover. The next two had a fairly professional covers. My current one has a lovely cover, and I was hoping Amy maybe could pop in because she's new in the group too. So I totally agree. Is that when I'm scanning them on ACX, certainly these bright covers, and I think about like the Regency romance books that have the women in the beautiful flowing gowns, ball gowns from the era, and the men are in their tuxedos and long tailed tuxes and often with their ascot on. And I mean, I think, and I could be way wrong. I mean, we both know that it's a budget thing, you know, for authors to be able to put the money into a graphic design. And there are graphic artists out there who specialize
Mhm,
in book covers. So if you
mhm.
can get into some of the groups and, you know, start listening in and tuning in, you'll probably find them, or search
Mhm.
online.
Oh,
But
yeah.
certainly the cover is what catches my eye.
Mhm.
And if it's something that the author has invested in, then that, for me, again, this is just based on my experience, it tells me that they're vested into the project, right?
Of
So
course, we can translate that into the same as paying more for your narrator, but we won't go into that subject. But
exactly.
absolutely, that's very important.
But you're right on, you know, if there's a budget for a beautiful cover, then, you know, sometimes that does translate to there is a budget to hire the narrator at full capacity, so to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah, that's
You know,
right.
and another thing that just popped in my mind as we're talking about it, and it's a little different, but book covers and book titles.
Hmm.
Because sometimes the title, I did one and it was called The Island Ran Red. And it was kind of a reddish, goldish cover. And I kept bypassing it. And I thought, what is this? And lo and behold, when I finally took the time to dig deep and go in and read about it, that's the one that's the mystery in my backyard. I mean, it's in Maryland, and it's
Ah,
a fictional murder mystery that's 20 miles down the road from where I live,
oh my
and
goodness.
very much a community that I'm aware of,
Yeah,
and really cute little cozy mystery.
yeah.
But the title threw me, and the cover combined. So
And you're also you were talking about the Amish. I did a couple of mail order bride books, and in the
yes, yes.
beginning, like you, I was hesitant because I thought, yeah, I don't know if this topic. And they had lovely covers, and they're
Yes.
actually selling quite well. So I was
Mm-hmm.
very pleased to see that.
Yeah,
So
the
yes,
oh,
I
okay.
wanted to just I looked up something just to give me a little bit of a background here, and
Mm-hmm.
this quote came up. Great cover designs need to draw the reader's attention. They need to engage them on an emotional level,
Mm-hmm.
suggest the tone and the style of the book, and showcase the quality of the book itself.
Absolutely.
So it's important.
I'm going to see if I can share this. So let's see if I have any luck.
Some covers, yeah.
Okay, now where was I? I was on,
Are you going to share some covers from ACX?
yeah, that's what I was going to try. Oh, so you
Yeah.
cannot minimize Zoom. Okay, so I've got to go. Oh, it won't let me come down. Screen share. Okay, let me stop sharing first for just a moment, and because it's not letting me get to the next page. So me and Zoom sometimes don't get along. Okay, it won't let me come down. You cannot zoom. You cannot minimize Zoom when you're recording. Oh, okay. So let me stop recording for a moment. Hope
Oh, that's
so.
interesting.
Let me try this real quick.